So Pokerev released a new mystery pack with a new Obsidian tier, a 1 in 200 chance to get a first edition pack, which is 5 times easier than the last pack's previous tier, a 1 in 1000 chance of getting a first edition base set booster pack. But is it a scam? Sorry, I'm getting deja vu. First things first, let's talk about the differences. This pack is $10 more than the last, and I think the last one was $10 more than the previous one. So what are we getting in this one that we weren't getting in the last? Well, every single tier is the exact same as last time, it's just the diamond one has been switched out with the obsidian tier. But like I said, the obsidian tier is much easier to get than the other one, so technically this is a better product, in terms of odds anyway. And you're still getting first edition packs. But which ones? Well, as far as I can find, it doesn't specify anywhere. Each of the tiers now has weird stipulations on them instead of them just being based on sets. Red tier includes high-end Sword and Shield, but which ones? Silver tier contains high-end Sun and Moon and X and Y, but which ones? Pokerev released a promotional video to go along with these packs, and in it he says the pack selection goes
all the way through to every single set of Pokemon cards ever made.
This is a crazy cool statement if true, but also when talking about the Obsidian tier, he doesn't say the specific sets involved, he just says first edition and EX era. Is it every EX era pack? And is it every first edition booster pack from the Wizard of the Coast era, which would include base set? Considering that was the whole last pack's deal, including the first edition base set booster pack, that's probably not going to be included in this one. So before even touching the packs, my first gripe is that it's not very clear what packs are available in the Obsidian tier. Hell, what packs are available in any of the tiers that are in this thing. And towards the end of the video, I'll cover why I think this is a bigger problem than it might seem. But for now, let's cover what happened last time I opened Pokerev packs, because a lot has changed since then and there were a lot of comments that I want to talk about. Pokerev uploaded a video unboxing a mystery product that he claims he bought off eBay. I'm pretty sure he just made it himself, or he employed someone to do it for him. And then he spends the whole entire time really worried that he's not going to be able to make up the value that he has spent on the product, basically claiming that this product is really bad. And in that video, he then goes on to promote his new mystery product and say how great that is. And also, when he opens up that mystery product in future videos, he never opens them up in the same way that he was looking at this mystery product, right? He would never open up a Pokerev pack and go, oh, am I close to making my money out of this, you know? This only adds up to $30 and I spent $70 on this one, so I made a loss. No, he would never even discuss prices like that, right, around his own product, but would do it for other ones, which that's a whole point in itself. But the fact that he would promote a video while saying this one's cringe, however mine's great, buy mine, was a little crazy. And if you haven't seen, Pokerev replied. Basically a TLDR is he didn't intend for the ad to go on that specific video. To be honest, I don't know how much I believe that, because you would want a mystery product ad to go on a mystery product video because that's the right audience. But he says, just bad timing on our end. I understand exactly what you mean. Which is great. There are two ways you can take criticism online, right? You either say, this guy's cringe and they're a loser, or you go, you know what? I understand what you're saying. I respect it. And Pokerev took the latter. It's also worth mentioning that this is the video that Pokerev released his new mystery product on, and he also promoted it in the next one, which makes sense. This is Journey Together coming out, so these are going to be the most viewed videos. But if you scroll up, he hasn't released a single video that is about mystery products, good or bad. And I think that could potentially be to do with me pointing out that having your own mystery product but shitting on everyone else's is a bad look. And whether it's to do with me or not, I wanted to acknowledge this because this shows true change. Pokerev's comment wasn't just him saying shit to deal with the criticism. He's shown that he's grown from it, and I think that's great. Shout out to Pokerev. So obviously this response is really nice. He's not coming at it with aggression and is being very charitable to me, especially considering something that I feel really bad about now. I spent a lot of time in this video talking about how he looks so sad.
All right, let's keep going. We got more.
It's just the fact he looks so fucking pissed off at the fact that he's like, okay, well, I guess we're at $275.
And it comes down to this. Okay.
Why is he so miserable? I just don't get it. You're on camera opening Pokemon cards. At least try and look like you're having fun, dude. So yeah, that hurts looking back, knowing that Pokerev saw that, right? He heard me say he looks miserable. I feel really bad. I'm sorry, Pokerev. If you're watching this, bro, I'm so sorry. If it's any consolation, I have watched Pokerev videos since, and it's probably nothing to do with me, but he does seem like he's enjoying himself a lot more. Since I made this video, obviously Prismatic Evolutions came out, and Pokerev made a video on like the state of everything that's happening and how bad everything was, and then did a whole entire stream selling Prismatic Evolution packs at like retail or a little bit less than retail, I think, just to try and make sure that people could get product, which is helping out the community. It is just a good thing to do. There are some criticisms you can make to Pokerev about him necessarily being part of the problem with the way he talks about money in his videos, but I truly believe Pokerev is a net good to the Pokemon community. So I'm sorry, bro, for saying that you're miserable. I hope you're not. I hope you're happy. Anyway, we got a little bit sidetracked. To go back to the comment, he brings up criticizing mystery products if they don't have clear odds indicating what can be pulled and what the odds are to pull them, which I think is very fair. And a lot of other comments mention this, that there are two different types of mystery products, right? One is like you spend a bulk amount of money and receive a rough estimation of products that should equal that money, and often they don't. Then there's a different style of mystery product that states odds, and it's like a gambling thing, right? Sometimes you get more than the value that you spend, and then most of the time you get less than the value that you spend. And having the odds on the front is kind of like being very transparent about that, which is exactly how Pokerev describes it. My thing with mystery products is transparency, which big 2 thumbs up from me. However, I don't necessarily think that the Pokerev packs are completely transparent. And that is something that I want to address with this video, which we will get onto later on after I've opened the new product. Because I have to open it first, right? I can't really do a review of something without having experienced it myself. And he ends it with, thanks for checking out the packs and the feedback. I appreciate it. Which again, like I said, he was a really good sport, despite me saying mean things about him in the video. Let's be real, I was a dick. It was funny, but I was still a dick. And the fact that knowing Pokerev saw it is also funny, but like I feel so bad. So I am genuinely very sorry. I was essentially attacking Pokerev's character, and the fact that he then responded really nicely and didn't just attack me shows that I think he is a good guy, right? Which then brings me on to some of the comments that I saw in this video that were just awful. A bunch of people were like, yeah, I'm so glad you made this video. Fuck Pokerev, he's a piece of shit. I'm like, bro, what the hell? So I think I have to explain that online, there is like such a disconnect between this person did a bad thing and this person is a piece of shit. You can make a mistake and it not be your whole entire identity. Like, let's say you have a video where you open a mystery product, say it's really bad, but then promote your own mystery product. And then let's say, I don't know, trigger warning, you say minors. One of them, yeah, really bad person, we should definitely say they're a piece of shit. One of them just made a mistake. So I want to reiterate, the reason initially that I even did the first video that I knew about him promoting his Pokerev packs is because I watched Pokerev's videos and I was a regular viewer. Yeah, sure, I have a couple criticisms of the way that he does his YouTube videos and channel in general, and I am making another video criticizing his product. But that doesn't make everything that he does and ever will do bad, and also definitely doesn't mean that he's a bad person and a piece of shit, right? So if you left a bad comment shitting on Pokerev, odds are you're banned from my channel. Because that's not the point of this place, right? We can be critical without being horrible. And while we're going over comments, quite a few people said that these packs were clearly, like all of the booster packs inside were either scanned or weighed, or that the odds were just straight up fake. And it's just not true. It's not worth the risk, because the Pokerev packs, without them being scanned or weighed, make so much money. That's the point of me doing this video, is to transparently show the money that you lose by buying Pokerev packs. It's not a money-making scheme. It is a product that you are paying and you purchase a thing, and Pokerev, the creator of this, then makes the profit. That's the point of like selling products. He doesn't need to weigh or scan the products to be able to get one over on the consumer, right? He's already doing that. He's making a profit. And then, like I said, comments were mentioning how the mystery item of the Pokerev pack is different than the one that he was reviewing in the video because of the stated odds that are on the Pokerev pack. So you know there's like a risk and a reward system. It's gambling. But I feel like these odds are kind of deceiving. Don't get me wrong, he's not lying about what packs will be included, but it's the way that the information is presented that could be potentially manipulative. It's not false advertising. In fact, it's advertising exactly what is in the product. I'll explain more about this later, but essentially I want to figure out monetarily, does the risk outweigh the reward? And yes, the odds are stated here, but what are the odds monetarily? Are Pokerev packs worth it, or are they a scam? So I opened another 5 packs to find out. But remember, I love opening Pokemon. This video is intended as a review, but I'm not going to be sat there opening this pack like, oh, I'm having a really bad time. It's sick. I'm going to be having the best time opening Pokemon cards because I love opening Pokemon cards, okay? Sue me. Roll the tape. Okay, here we go. I'm super excited to get into these. This can only be fun because I've already spent the money, so I've already taken a hit. Let's see if we can get some hits in the form of Pokemon cards. This part's the fun part, and before we get into anything else, let's go through the rarities just really quick. It starts with green, which is basic packs, and then you've got red, which now includes high-end Sword and Shield, things like Evolving Skies. I'm interested to see if there's other stuff included there, like is Crown Zenith in red. Silver tier with black and white, and then high-end Sun and Moon and XY, and then gold, which basically has everything else in it. And then you also get the rainbow pack and the throwback pack, which both would be really sick. So, without any further ado, let's see what we get out of our first pack. Okay, it's a green. It's expected to be a green. Green is going to be the most common that we'll get, obviously, but it'll be interesting to see what packs are available in the green. But we could still get the cool extra hit. Let's see. Okay, no, we just get regular packs this time. You get a cool thing that's just got Pokerev social stuff on it, and then a shiny Pokerev sticker. And the packs that I got in this one is Stellar Crown, Silver Tempest, Sword and Shield Vivid Voltage, which a lot of people don't like, but I've opened quite a lot of Vivid Voltage. I think it's cool. Paradox Rift, and Brilliant Stars, which is very nice. Interesting to note that this isn't one of the Sword and Shield packs that has been moved up the tier, right, into red. I'll wait to see what we get out of the green pack. For now, let's get started with the packs, starting with Paradox Rift. It's really funny having a video that does as well as my last Pokerev review. Some of the things that I said early on, because I made that video before this channel was even monetized, right? It was getting like a couple thousand views a video, and now there's so many of you guys, which is very, very sick. No hit out of Paradox Rift, but worth noting the Mantike. I think this is only one of like 2 Mantike cards ever printed, and we get a reverse, which is pretty cool. Stellar Crown next, and yeah, the amount of things that I said in that video that like my opinions have changed, or like I've just learned so much more about Pokemon since that video. It is not embarrassing. Holy shit, that Mewtwo is so cool. I don't think I've opened enough Stellar Crown. I've never even seen this art. That's amazing. There are some things that I say in that video that people are like, oh my god, you're so stupid. Ooh, a Melmetal EX. That's kind of cool. But yeah, people on that video are like, oh, you said this thing about this set. That must mean that you're so new to Pokemon, and also you're an idiot. Which, first of all, yeah, I'm not new to Pokemon, but I'm specifically new to like getting as heavily invested in the Pokemon TCG as I am. But like, is that a bad thing? Being new to something isn't inherently negative, and people can make videos on it. I'm not making this video like I'm some sort of expert, right? Oh wait, I need to be careful opening this because I don't want to spoil the code card because it's Sword and Shield. So Vivid Voltage was one of the only sets of like the modern era that I have actually opened a lot before this channel. I got back into it in 2021, 2022 when Logan Paul was doing all his box breaks. And I think because this was overprinted, amazing rares that are in this set, I think it's only in Vivid Voltage, aren't actually that valuable. Oh, Magearna's looks very nice. But I think amazing rares are some of the coolest cards in Pokemon. Oh, wait, I was going to say I hope we get one. As anyone that follows my channel knows, I don't really give a shit about gold cards, and I also don't care if they're gold traders cards or like item cards specifically, but it's a fucking rare card, which is sick. I'll pog over a rare card. The gambler in me likes getting a rare hit, you know? I probably care about this Melmetal a little bit more, but hitting a rare card's still cool. All right, Silver Tempest next. This is the set. If I was going to get a cool hit, I would want it to be from here. Even some of the Trainer Gallery cards in this set are really, really sick. I love... Oh, we got a V-Star card. I don't think that actually guarantees anything, but it makes me feel like we're guaranteed something. Even the Trainer Gallery cards in this set are really cool. That Litten's sick. I say even, that's still a hit in my eyes, but a lot of people don't view them as like that cool. No hit in this pack, but the Incineroar looks very cute. And ending it off on Brilliant Stars. Oh, I've ruined it. White code card. I'm a fool. Sometimes they get it wrong though. They didn't get it wrong. I actually have a Brilliant Stars booster box here that I bought just before it went out of sale on the Pokemon Center website. And I'm definitely going to be opening that up in the future, which will be very exciting. But like the long future. So maybe there's a Charizard in there. If there is, it's literally been sat behind me every single time that I've ever made a YouTube video for my whole entire channel, which is very cool. Moving on to the next pack. So we've hit a green. At minimum, we'll get a red. That's not how odds actually work, just in case. Like, if we get all greens this video, that doesn't mean, therefore, as we get another green, that doesn't mean, therefore, that this is a scam, right? But we could still get the cool pack thing. We do not get the cool pack thing, but what packs do we get? Oh, wait, I forgot the Pokerev pack. Wait, no, I'm a fool. Hold that thought. Hold that thought, this pack. I'm putting it to the side. In fact, I'm putting it right there, so you can still see it, so you know that I've not tampered with it. I'm not getting rid of it. I just want to open this because people in the comments would get annoyed if we started opening a hole in the pack without getting into the green. Let's see what is inside. These are actually kind of hard to pry open. Okay, and this should just be a regular pack. Nothing crazy. Rebel Clash, maybe worse than nothing crazy. I have only heard bad things about Rebel Clash, but personally, I haven't opened enough of it to know if it is like a bad set or not. I'm just going off everyone else's vibes. As I said at the start of this video, I am kind of new to like really caring about all this. And that's not like a bad thing, you know? I'm not trying to hide that fact. I'm also not sat here like teaching you guys about things, right? I'm just taking you through my experiences in the Pokemon hobby. And I don't think that's a bad thing. So I will be the judge of whether Rebel Clash is a really cool set. And honestly, I think that Dragcloak art's really cool. I think that Caterpie, it takes a lot to make a Caterpie look cool. I think that looks kind of cool. Galarian Corsola fucking terrifies me. A Roly-Coly, and I think we have something back here. I think I see like a black border. So we get a reverse Garbodor, which is literal trash, so we'll ignore him. But we do have something. Oh, nice! A Malamar V. And I am a sucker for the black border of V cards from Sword and Shield. In the same way that I'm a sucker for the regular yellow borders that we used to get on cards. Don't get me wrong, I think the silver looks really cool for some cards, but the iconic yellow is just iconic, you know? All right, back to the second pack. I'm very sorry that I skipped ahead. We have Twilight Masquerade, Stellar Crown, Silver Tempest, another Vivid Voltage, another Brilliant Stars. Okay, wait. These three are the exact same as last time. Wait, these four are the exact same as last time. And a Twilight Masquerade. So this is a step up from the last pack, I think. I'm not a big fan of Paradox Rift. We'll stick the Pokerev pack in the back, and hopefully I remembered to open it this time. And we'll get going with the packs, starting with Twilight Masquerade. And let's see how this opening goes. Having to, like, code switch in my head between, like, this is a Scarlet and Violet pack, so I don't do the pack trick, versus doing it is very funny. I keep on, like, finding myself messing up. Holy shit, that Heatran is so cool. What the hell? And a Tinglu. I hate those guys. The new Scarlet and Violet legendaries as Pokemon, I can't vibe with them. I don't know what it is. I really don't like them. Stellar Crown has so many cool cards in it that I am yet to pull, and I will carry on not pulling them. Hopefully there's a couple more Stellar Crown packs, because I would love to get a cool hit. All right, we had a gold card from our last Vivid Voltage pack. This pack's opening in a very strange way. Can I get you to not do that, please? Thank you. I'm pretty sure that only some Sword and Shield packs have the code card that spoils things, but I'm too scared. I don't want to risk it, you know? Galarian Meowth. Do I love Galarian Meowth? And then Berserker. I think them as cards are so sick. They look like Vikings with big beards. Very cool. Reverse Ferrothorn, and ooh, nice, Holo Lugia, which is very sick. I remember pulling this one and being super happy with it and keeping it sleeved because I love Lugia. And you know what? I will be doing the exact same here. I will sleeve him and putting in the hit pile because I want to honor the fact, hey, speaking of Lugia, shout out to Silver Tempest. I want to honor the fact that holo cards in like pre-Scarlet and Violet were technically hits, right? The fact that we always are guaranteed a holo card in Scarlet and Violet kind of ruins it for me a little bit, you know? It ruins the fun of getting a hit. Do we have something here? Oh my god, we actually do have something here. Holy shit. Wait, this isn't an Altar, but this is a V-Star, I think. Okay, we have something. Oh, unknown V-Star. This is pretty cool. Okay, don't like. I don't like Unknown at all, which is very funny. But I do think this V-Star card specifically, with like the purple and the blue running through it, is actually really nice. Hell yeah, I'll take that. And finishing up with some brilliant stars, as we did the last pack. All right, looking for that Charizard. I know there are some like really cool hits in brilliant stars, but I honestly can't remember them off the top of my head. But I'll be happy with whatever. And we get another hit. This is a crazy, yo, Aggro V. This is a crazy hit rate that we've had this video, which I think shows and proves people that left comments in my previous Pokerev video shitting on Pokerev, being like, yeah, this guy definitely, if it's assorted packs, he definitely weighs them and does the scanning thing and blah, blah, blah. Well, he's clearly not, right? This set is weighable, I'm pretty sure, is scannable with the pipe thing that people do, which is why I think you should be wary of buying loose packs online and only buy them from reputable sources. And I think this video is so far proving that Pokerev is a reputable source. And something else that I want to say that I've probably already said in this video, but I'm going to reiterate for me right now. I'm not affiliated or paid by Pokerev in any way. I think Pokerev probably doesn't like me very much because I've got like 250,000 viewed video that is calling him a scammer, right? Insane for people to watch my previous video and think that he's paid me to make that video. And I'm sure there will be people that will think he's paid me to make this video. It's not the case. No one has paid me to make any video ever. I haven't earned anything from any, I've not got a kickback from any sponsorship or anything like that ever. I'm not against that, and I would be willing to take sponsorships, but obviously I would be very upfront with you guys if there was ever a paid sponsorship or anything like that. And I don't think Pokerev needs to or would want to pay me to open his packs. He doesn't need to, because look, this is me doing it right now, opening the green pack, and let's see what we get. Remember, this is the same rarity as the loose packs that you can get in the bag. Oh, but it's Silver Tempest, which is actually a really good pack. I mean, it's not like a crazy cool pack, and if we're going to be going over the prices of these later on, this definitely doesn't make up for the price of the whole entire thing. However, it's a fun pack to open, and as I already knew I was getting green, this is a pleasant surprise. So let's see. Donphan, do we get a hit out of this pack? Do we get a Lugia? Which is what I would really, really like because the art is so sick. No hit. Oh, wait. I mean, technically, that's a holo, so it counts as a hit, but I don't give a shit about it. Okay, third Pokerev pack. We've only hit green so far. Let's see if our luck will change. Nope. Nope, it is, oops, all green. But we could get the rainbow, whatever it is. Oh, wait, we get a Scarlet and Violet 151. That's pretty sick. Battle Style, Twilight Masquerade, Astral Radiance, and a Silver Tempest. This, holy shit. This is a monumental moment that I don't know whether to do or not. I have never opened a packet of 151. I don't really know why. I just never got into it. And this was the set when I joined the hobby, which was like just before the boom started happening. I decided to buy a bunch of Paldean Fates because I saw at the time that 151 was going crazy. So I never bought any 151, and in my head, I wanted to complete a master set of Paldean Fates, and that was my goal. That was what was like stopping me from spending way too much money on like every single Pokemon card. Instead, I would just buy all the Paldean Fates Pokemon cards, which I still spent a lot of money, but I specifically avoided opening 151. And then that's just become a thing where I haven't opened a 151 pack ever, and I don't think I want to. I think I'm gonna keep it sealed and open it another day. I'm sorry, I'm putting him behind me in my pack. I've got a little pack box down here. He's going in my pack box back there, and I'm not going to open in this video, and I'm very sorry. But nonetheless, it's a cool hit. I do think it's good that Pokerev is putting 151 and Prismatic Evolutions into the green tier, right? Into the tier that can exist just randomly in the packs. Because he has moved, like, Sword and Shield, so Evolving Skies, up to the red tier, which is understandable because it does cost more. But so that's why it's interesting. Packs like Prismatic Evolutions and 151 can still be found in this green tier. He could have done it where instead of it being organized by the set that it comes from, right, the era that it comes from, Scarlet and Violet or Sword and Shield or X and Y or whatnot, he could have done it so it was organized by, dude, this giraffe rig art looks amazing. By expensiveness, right? Like, oh, in this tier, you get anywhere between a $5 and a $10 pack. And then in this tier, you get $10 to $20, which, oh, a Mega Cargo EX, we get a hit at least. Which some people might argue is the better way to do these kind of packs. But it's obviously better is subjective. And as I mentioned in my last video, I think the reason why I like this, the reason why I like mystery products, and I think that this isn't a scam, is because I know that this is a mystery product, and I'm going into it specifically because I like an extra gamble, because there is already gambling in Pokemon packs, because they are technically a mystery product, right? You don't know what cards you're going to get in the set, and you are taking a gamble to see if you get a hit. And then sometimes you don't get a hit, but you still always are guaranteed to get cool art, right? So in the same way, this is like a gamble within a gamble, where sometimes you're going to get Sword and Shield battle styles, which again is similar to Rebel Clash, I think, where people don't like it, but I haven't opened enough of it to know my thoughts and opinions on it. So I'm kind of echoing the thoughts and opinions of the hive mind of the Pokemon community before I see it myself, you know? And I think people don't like it maybe because the hit rate isn't good. We'll see. And we don't get a hit, so maybe that's the case. I think a lot of the earlier Sword and Shield sets is before they introduced Galarian galleries and trainer galleries, so maybe that's part of the reason. Right, our third green pack. Again, we now know we get a chance of a 151 pack in here, which is kind of cool. It wouldn't be cool because it would be a double up from this pack, but we could get a nice Sword and Shield hit. Let's see what we get. Oh, nope, another Rebel Clash. But, like I said, Judgment is out currently on the Rebel Clash series. Let me see if we're lucky this time. But I do think that it is probably... I love Heracross, dude. It is probably the fact that they didn't introduce the Galarian galleries, so the hits aren't as good or frequent. And we get a holo, and this this Luxray art is so good and so nice with that holo. But I don't like the holo from Sword and Shield. You know, there's kind of like a barcode, like a, I don't know how to describe it, but just lots of lines going vertically. It's not a cooler holo as we have got previously. So maybe that's another reason why people don't like it, but I don't know. Okay, 4 out of 5 packs. Sorry, this is the 4th pack is what I mean. And again, if we get greens this whole time, that is okay. You know, that is what is expected, and it is what's gonna happen. We get another green. It is what it is. But we could still get the rainbow. We don't get the rainbow. We get another Stellar Crown, which at least is a chance, right? If we get the Stellar Crown, we got a chance to hit the cool hits from Stellar Crown that I've never got. But let's see. Stellar Crown, Silver Tempest, Pokemon Go. Some people like Pokemon Go. I can kind of see why people don't like Pokemon Go. I've never got a Ditto card, at least, from Pokemon Go, so that would be cool. Astral Radiance and Twilight Masquerade. Maybe the worst pack selection that we've had so far, because most of them we've already had, and we've just got an extra stinker. Let's end on Pokemon Go as a meme, and we'll start with Stellar Crown, because getting either of the Bulbasaur or Squirtle cards that are looking at the Pidgeys would be so sick. I actually bought them both recently for a video, which I filmed at CardCon, which was very cool to go to, and I met quite a few of you guys who watched the videos there, so shout out to you guys if I saw you at CardCon. We didn't get the hits this time in this set, but I have pulled the cards, and you'll see them in a video coming up. Maybe it's already out. I have no idea what order I'm going to be posting these videos in. I have too many videos that I need to get out, to the point where I'm meeting up with my IRL friend tomorrow to basically be like, hey, can you help me put out some of these videos? Because I'm filming and coming up with ideas maybe twice a week, and only having time to edit and post a video maybe like once a week, which has meant, oh, yo, Superior V-Star. The purple behind it with the green looks so nice, and I love the white, shiny V-Star borders from Sword and Shield. This is so sick. Hell yeah, dude. We went a bit of time without getting a hit as well, so that's very, very appreciated, Superior. Thank you, good sir. So yeah, hopefully I can start putting out some videos like twice a week and get my friend to help me. That would be ideal, but I mean, I have no idea. I'm not even had that conversation with him yet. I just know I don't have enough time to do all this, so we'll see. And we have another V-Star card, which the last 2 times we've got that, I think we got a hit, but I also don't think it's guaranteed, because I think it was mainly a quality control issue where they'd put the V-Star card in packs that weren't a hit. Oh, yo! But we do get a Garchomp V. Oh, with Cynthia? This is a very, very nice trainer gallery. Holy. I am so happy about that. I didn't even know this card existed. The blue behind? I think this art is cooler. You know the Garchomp that's in, I think it's in Journey Together, right? Maybe it's coming out in Destined Rivals, actually. It's not Journey Together. Yeah, I think it's Destined Rivals that it's going to be in. I think this art is maybe cooler because I think I prefer the cleanness. Do you get what I mean? Like, the other one's a bit busy and it's hard to figure out really what's going on. Whereas this is very clear, just huge Garchomp stood behind Cynthia, who's like, go get him, okay? That's very cool. Maybe the coolest hit so far today, in my opinion. I love that. Very happy. Very nice. Okay, I know that has nothing to do with Pokerev and his packs. He didn't choose what art you get in, which is why some people were saying, like, well, actually, if you, in my last video, my last Pokerev review, they were like, if you add up the prices of the hits that you got, I'm sure that would equal the difference in price that you experienced. I'm like, well, no, because the amount of money the hits would cost is significantly less than the amount of money each pack individually would cost. So that would be so much less money. And I'm not going to include both, because as soon as I open them to get the hits, I've lost the value of the sealed thing, right? It would be crazy to include both. You're an insane person. I am also going to do a video at some point going over money in Pokemon and my thoughts and opinions on specifically like content creators around it. Because a lot of people also say that I'm being hypocritical by talking about money, but also saying I don't care about money, which on a surface level, I can understand idiots thinking that. But I might do a video just to be like crystal clear. And my opinions have changed. Sometimes I'm talking about something in a video that's like 2 months ago, and I'm like, I don't actually agree with some of the things that I say there, and that's me saying it, you know? Anyway, Pokemon Go. We all love Pokemon Go, right? Let's stop talking about the price of things. Oh, that slower art is actually kind of cool. And let's hope we get a special Ditto reverse, which I have never got and would be kind of cool. I don't know how you tell. This could be a Ditto reverse and I wouldn't know. Oh, but we do get a Sylveon, which is kind of cool. It's a holo. I don't really care about it, so I won't be sleeving it. And I don't care about this Ambipom, so I will see if this is a... I think you know if it's a Ditto because there's a symbol somewhere, but I don't know what the symbol is, so I'm going to assume this is not a Ditto. The 4th pack for Pokerev is green. Will we get a sick pack out of the green? Let's see, to make up, because I think I remember this 4th pack wasn't very good in terms of the regular packs that we got. Oh, it's Sword and Shield, and it's a Brilliant Stars. That kind of makes up for it, you know? I think that's a good, well-rounded pack selection, minus the Pokemon Go, maybe. But Brilliant Stars, we can still get a really cool hit, like I've said. Praying for that Charizard, praying for anything, really. I will not complain too much. Like I said, we've had some pretty cool hits already in this video. So I will take whatever I get, even if it's a non-hit, which I have a feeling it is not. That Thunderous art looks awful. I am a guy that loves to appreciate art. Bro did not cook. What's that? I don't want to name them. I was going to name and shame the artist for some reason. No, I'm sorry. The final Pokerev pack. Now, I have said this maybe before every single Pokerev pack that I've opened, but just to be as crystal clear as I possibly can, if this isn't green, it doesn't mean it's a scam. That is okay. There is no way to 100% prove that the odds are correct. It's just a trust me, bro, I guess. I don't know how you could guarantee that the odds are what they say they are. Like, I don't know how he would be able to prove it. But as I said in my last video, it would be insane for him to fake it, because eventually he would get caught out that, like, yeah, I bought like 1,000 of these and the odds aren't what they say they are. It wouldn't be worth it for him to fake it because he's already making money off it if it's real, right? Like we said in my last video, I did really well in my last video. I got 2 silver packets, right? Those packs individually paid for themselves, but overall, I still lost money. I beat the odds and lost money. Best case scenario, I'm losing money still. So even in a good scenario, right, I'm still losing money. There's no reason for him to fake it, is what I'm saying, even with these odds. But it would be nice to get something really cool that isn't a green. Oh, wait, we hit the perfect odds. That's so funny. We get a red pack in our 5th pack. And then what other packs do we get? There's too many packs in this. We need to differentiate. The mystery pack from the mystery pack. And then we also get a pack of Stellar Crown, Silver Tempest, Battle Styles, Paradox Rift, and Brilliant Stars. Okay, we've been mixing around the same batch, I think, of variety. I think we've doubled up on basically every single pack that we've ever got, and we've had so many Silver Tempest, bro. But I do really like Silver Tempest, so I'm not going to complain. Another chance to get a really sick hit. Sign me up, please. Sorry, what's that? The cool art police called, and they wanted to arrest Silver Tempest for being too swag and too cool. Like, this Amolg is so sick. The Dreepy that I went past before is so sick. This Jinx, creepy as hell, but the art's so cool. Oh, wait, what? And then we double up on the Superior V-Star. That's actually crazy. All right, so if anyone wants a Superior V-Star at the next card convention that I go to, there you go. I'll give someone that. I probably will forget, so sorry if you meet and go, hey, you said you'd give me this. I'll be like, my bad, bro. So, out of the red pack then, I'm trying to think of what it says we can get. Another code card upside down from Stellar Crown. So there's quite a lot of options now because you can get high-end Sword and Shield, which is technically the worst, inverted commas, but I think, to be honest, getting a Evolving Skies would be very cool. And I wouldn't be happy if it is Crown Zenith that's in there. I don't know what other like high-end Sword and Shield there would be. I'm trying to think. I mean, I love Crown Zenith, but value-wise, it's not as cool of a hit as like Evolving Skies. Because you know me, I love Evolving Skies because it's so hard to get a hit in it. I think that's why I like it, which is always this is what kind of confuses me about people hating on the set that I'm opening right now, Battle Styles. People say, oh, it's because you can't really get good hits in it. You get so many bad hits in Evolving Skies. Dude, that Electabuzz looks so cool. What the hell? And people still like Evolving Skies. I guess no hit in this one. I guess the argument there is that you at least have the chance to get some really cool art in Evolving Skies, and maybe Battle Styles doesn't have the reward for the lack of hits, you know? Okay, but ending on Brilliant Stars is, well, we're not ending on it because we've got the red pack, but it's not a bad thing to do. Dude, this Luxray looks amazing. Holy. Because I care about the Pokemon art so much, I should make a video going over some common art that I think is really cool and underrated, like this Magmortar and Electivire team up. What the hell? This is crazy cool. Stuff that would be really sick in like a full SIR or Art Rare or V-Star or whatever card. Maybe then hire an artist to make a version of what it would look like. That would be kind of cool. But that takes a lot of effort. It's not as easy as just opening Pokemon cards like this video. The final Pokerev pack, with the final pack being a red tier. Let's go over what it could be. So, Sun and Moon, X and Y, or high-end Sword and Shield. But then bear in mind the silver tier says high-end Sun and Moon and XY. So that therefore means that you can't get the high-end Sun and Moon and XY in this red tier. So it is bad Sun and Moon and X and Y packs or good Sword and Shield packs. So maybe the play, I mean, I don't have a choice, but maybe the thing I should be wanting out of this is the Sword and Shield pack, because it's going to be the good one. Right? The pièce de résistance. Let us see. Oh, this is fucking hard to rip, bro. What the hell? That was tough. I'm nervous. Okay, let's see what we get. Oh, I have no idea what this design is, so it's not Sword and Shield. Sun and Moon, Guardians Rising. Okay, I have never heard of this set, but I do think Tapu Koko, I think that's this guy's name, I think he's pretty cool. Interesting. I'm going to Google this right now so I can see what kind of set this is and what hits I could get. So some people have asked before what site do I use? So I just type in the set name, which was Sun and Moon Guardians Rising. And then this is Poke Collector, which you can actually use if you're collecting the set. You like tick the ones that you want to keep, but you obviously have to be logged in and have an account, which is why some of these are like whited over. But you get the whole set list here, which is really sick. So you get to see the GXs in this set look crazy cool. Okay, the Alolan Ninetales is definitely one to look out for. Vikavolt, dude, I love Vikavolt, and that GX looks crazy. It's just kind of cool to see GXs. Okay, and then what are the big hits? Let's scroll down a bit. Kommo-o-o is cool. Okay, the full arts. I don't think I would actually be happy about getting these full arts. Am I crazy? Or maybe the Metagross or the Sylveon. Wait, can you get a regular GX Metagross? Oh, you can. That looks crazy cool. And this Sylveon also looks cool. I think these GXs, these ones, are cooler than the full arts. Okay, and this was the Rainbow Rare era, which I will also say, I don't think I like Rainbow Rares, but I would hate to get any of these gold cards way more than the Rainbow Rares. But I think, obviously, the fact that I'm just opening one pack, if I get a gold card, it's still sick, right? Just to clarify, just because I think the art looks bad doesn't mean that it won't be really cool to open. So let's get into this. The final pack of the video. Let's see if we get a hit or not. I think it's going to be 4 to the front, but I actually don't know. Oh, I don't know if that... Is that good? I think that might be bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this bad? Okay, well, I did the pack trick right. That's a good sign. Okay, let's see if we get any hit. Sometimes, hey, quality control could be bad. Maybe we will get a cool hit. Let's see. A Alolan Vulpix. That art's cute. With the why you got green feet, bro? Where have your feet been? Chansey. Oh, nice. The reverse pattern in this set is very cool. The like water droplet and then the other water droplets. I don't know if you can see that very well on video, but that tentacle looks nice. And the artwork of the tentacle, the colors. Hell yeah. And not even a holo. So I was right that this was bad. All right, and there you have it. They were 5 Obsidian Pokerev packs opened. I'm going to go through the hits very quickly. So the Magcargo EX was maybe my least favorite. It's just an EX from Scarlet and Violet, so nothing crazy. Same with the Melmetal. The gold memory capsule is cool because it's a big hit, but it's a memory capsule, and I couldn't really give a shit about it, I'll be real. This Lugia, I care more about. I love Lugia, bro, and this art is so nice. Malmar V, honestly, I think I care about this less than the Lugia. I misjudged. The colors in this Unknown are crazy. Aggron is one of my favorite Pokemon, so having an action shot of him, like full art V-Star, is cool. 2 Superior V-Stars, where the colors are amazing. So happy to get this. And the best card of the whole video, this Garchomp. This might be one of my favorite cards that I've ever pulled on this channel. And I've pulled some pretty cool cards. So that's saying something. One thing I will say now is I am not going to look up the price of this card, specifically because I have a feeling that people won't rate it very highly. But in my eyes, I value this at like around 100 to 200 pounds. There are cards that I've spent 100 to 200 pounds on that have worse artwork than this, in my opinion. So for me, this is very valuable. And looking up the price would only diminish my own value in this card, right? If I was like, oh, this is only worth 10 pounds, then unless I'm going to sell the card, I don't need to know that information, right? It only makes me like the card less. Currently, I'm only valuing it based on what it looks like, and I think it looks sick. So, no, to everyone that disagrees. I'll talk about that more in like the money video that I'm going to make at some point. So stick around if you want to hear my thoughts and opinions on that. Subscribe. I should say this more in videos, but if you've watched this far, please subscribe. You're insane. Why aren't you subscribed? This whole channel is me opening Pokemon cards and talking about Pokemon cards. If you like this and you've listened to me yatter for this long, you should subscribe. Currently, I have no idea how much money I've lost, how much money I have spent in these packs. That's for future me to figure out. So let's cut to him. He'll know what he's doing, hopefully. So before getting into the price breakdown, I want to be totally clear. I love these packs. It's a great time opening them, and I love Pokemon, and I love gambling. But again, it is gambling on top of already gambling. Like, opening this pack is already a gamble, so opening this pack to see if I get this pack is a gamble before the gamble. And then when you add in the rarity, it's a gamble with a gamble with a gamble. So as you saw, I bought 5 packs and got 1 red and 4 green, which is the exact odds that's stated on the pack, which, as I've said, isn't guaranteed, but I think it makes the results that I have got an average. So let's take a look. So here we have the exact same system as I did last time. Again, the breakdown is in pounds, but as you can see here in the top, I showed you how much I paid in pounds for the $80 Pokerev pack, and then the total that I spent on the 5. I've also got the shipping here, and I included that last time in my profit loss thing, but I don't think that's fair. Of course I'm going to have it shipped, and people that aren't international wouldn't have to pay this much in shipping. That's only because I live in the UK. So it's worth mentioning for people that don't live in the US, but also it's not fair to include in my overall loss. And then looking at the packs that I got and the prices, I did not do very well this time round. Not only was there not much variety in the packs, for example, Silver Tempest appears every single pack selection, sometimes twice. I got 6 Silver Tempest packs out of 5 Pokerev packs, which isn't great. However, I do love Silver Tempest, so in the video I didn't really realize whilst I was opening them. I was just happy to get more Silver Tempest. And as you can see at the top here, the first 4 packs were the green packs, and then we got 1 red, which was Guardians Rising, which I think is roughly worth £15 as far as I could see online. And unlike the last video where I put the wrong pack title, I actually got it right this time. This is a Sun and Moon Guardians Rising, and it is £15. The only other outliers worth mentioning are obviously the 151 pack, which I've actually still got here unopened, still never opened a 151 pack. Don't know why, and I don't know when I will, but I'll make it a monumental occasion. Every other pack was pretty much somewhere between £4 and £5, apart from Rebel Clash, which is worth £3. I think it's like £3.20. So hey, Court, I rounded down. I'm sorry. I'm not rounding up £3.20 to £4 when it's Rebel Clash. No one likes Rebel Clash, dude. I got it as the chase pack twice. A chase pack. But again, that is all well within the odds, right, of the Pokerev packs. They are being transparent with it in a sense. Hint, hint, foreshadowing. But let's get to the most important part, the thing you're all waiting for. Here are the total prices for all of the boosters that I got per Pokerev pack. The lowest being 25 and the highest with the hit being 37. However, it's not looking good, bruv, when we get to the profit loss and we see everything is in the red. The least I lost per pack was £28 in value from the hit pack, and £40 was the most from the one that was Rebel Clash with the chase pack being Rebel Clash, yeah. Which ended up meaning that I lost 56% of the overall value that I spent. And again, that is not including shipping. I spent £325 and got out of that £146 worth in packs. And like I said, as I hit the exact odds, right, I got a 1 in 5, which is 4 green and then 1 red. I think it's safe to say that this would be like an average amount of money to gain or lose. Comparing that to my last Pokerev pack opening, where I got 1 red and 2 silvers, which is a 1 in 10 chance, I was incredibly lucky here and still overall lost £40. I nearly said dollars. Clearly, this was not a good average pack opening, whereas I think the one that I did in today's video is a good example of a typical Pokerev pack opening. However, I don't think necessarily that a 56% loss is bad for a bottom line for a gambling product. Bearing in mind that when we talk about gambling, if you're doing blackjack, roulette, anything that is in a casino, the money you put down is either completely gone or you get double or more of it back. With a Pokerev pack, you are never getting nothing back, right? There's no chance that I spend £325 and then he sends me air, right? I am guaranteed to get everything that it states on here. 6 packs, which are 5 random assortments, and then 1 of the Pokerev special odds, either green, red, silver, gold, or obsidian in this case. So again, as long as you know that it is gambling and that this isn't some kind of get-rich-quick scheme, on average, only losing about 50% of the value, with the chance to get something really, really sick, it could be worth it, and for me it is. If all you want to do is just get one particularly cool pack, then just go and buy the pack on eBay. Nothing's stopping you. You don't have to buy a Pokerev pack. So, with that out of the way, I want to talk about the sketchy part that I've been talking about throughout this video, the tier system. Like I've said multiple times, the odds are real. It would be insane to fake these odds. However, within these odds, within the tiers, there is no way to confirm the seeding of the packs you can get within it, which, like I said, makes it a gamble within a gamble within a gamble. Let's take the red tier, for example. There's a bunch of packs available, and they all vary in price. The higher end of this tier, Evolving Skies and XY Evolutions, are ranging between £20 and £30 per pack. But as you can also get Sun and Moon packs, there are some that aren't as valuable. As you can see, Sun and Moon base set goes for around £10 to £13. And for a beat up one, you could get as low as £8. So even after getting a red tier pack, right, you've looked out, you got a 1 in 5. You could just get a Sun and Moon base set instead of something like XY Evolutions and Evolving Skies. Now, don't get me wrong, I'd be hyped to get a Sun and Moon base set pack, but by including some of the packs, for example, high-end Sword and Shield, moving Evolving Skies up into that top tier because it's a more expensive pack, to me that makes sense, but it's then so strange to include such a wide discrepancy. You could get an £8 pack, or you could get a £35 pack in the same tier. The price discrepancy between the packs also creates another issue, that is, within these tiers, how often do the packs appear? If you get a chance of getting an £8 pack or a £35 pack, these packs could still meet their required odds, but the red tier might have less XY Evolutions compared to how many Sun and Moon base there are. And there's currently no way of us knowing how many of each are included and the frequency that they might appear in each tier. Now, you could do benefit of the doubt and assume that there is an even amount of every single pack that is mentioned that is possible to get in this tier spread throughout all of the packs. So for example, let's say there are 5 XY Evolutions that are put into each of these red tiers. There would also be 5 of every other potential pack that there could be. It doesn't state that anywhere, but let's give them benefit of the doubt for now. Even if that's the case, the fact that you could still get from the same tier an £8 pack or a £35 pack is a bit insane. So those are the two main problems: the price discrepancy within each tier, and then the lack of transparency on the seeding and distribution of different rarities of packs within those tiers. And this basically just gets worse every single tier up you go. Like a £10 to £30 range isn't too bad, but the next tier up, Silver, has a much larger range. If you have a look on the picture shown on the back, for Silver, there is Cosmic Eclipse, Next Destinies, and Team Up shown. Now, Next Destinies and Team Up are very similar, somewhere between £70 to £80 a pack. However, Cosmic Eclipse in the same tier is £20, and Ultra Prism in the same tier is about £20, which again, to me is a crazy range for them to be classed as the same tier. And also, there is no transparency on how often these packs appear compared to each other. It would be very easy to include more Ultra Prism packs than Team Up packs in the Silver tier. And when I say very easy, I'm not saying like Pokerev is scamming with this. I mean like in the stated odds that are shown on this pack, he could place only Ultra Prism packs and then like one Team Up and be like, there was a chance to get Team Up from the Silver tier, so it meets these requirements. Does that make sense? I'm not saying Pokerev is doing this, I'm saying there is a flaw with this system. And then if you thought £20 to £80 was crazy, let's move on up to the Obsidian tier, the main tier for this pack. This tier covers every first edition pack that's ever existed, which is all of the Wizards of the Coast era, and every EX era pack. And as you might imagine, the prices for these vary a lot. Now, there is a ton of EX era packs, and the highs and the lows for these vary a lot. EX Legends I could buy for £160, whereas on the high end I'm spending around £500 on an EX Rocket Returns or an EX Crystal Guardians. It's worth mentioning here that we're getting onto like really old packs, and because of their value and how long they've been around, they almost are assuredly weighed if you're buying them from sites that I'm checking, which means unless it says guaranteed heavy, it is probably not a heavy pack and it is a light pack, meaning there isn't a holo. So naturally they'll be cheaper than packs that are heavy, but for all the examples of prices that I'm using, I'm going with the cheapest option, the light option, so the price comparisons work the same, right? All I care about for this is the range between these two prices. I'm not comparing a light EX Hidden Legends to a heavy Crystal Guardians, because that would be unfair. But then moving on to the first edition Wizard of the Coast packs, you've got Fossil and Jungle that are around £250 for a first edition pack. But then on the high end, you have things like Neo Destiny that is £1,100 a pack for a first edition. And then, of course, you have the Granddaddy, a first edition base set pack that is around £5,000 Granted, this is graded at a PSA 9, so that will massively increase the price. There isn't any currently for sale on Card Market, so I went to go and check eBay last sold, and this is a light first edition base set booster pack that went for £1,600. On the pack, it doesn't state which packs are included and which aren't, and in Pokerev's like introductory video talking about this, he specifically says that it's every single set from Wizard of the Coast First Edition and the EX era, which by what he's saying, if you get an Obsidian tier pack, you are just as likely to get a base set First Edition as you are to get an EX era Hidden Legends. So you could get a pack worth £160, or you could get a pack worth £1,600 from the same tier. That's kind of what I'm getting at, is even if these are all correctly distributed, right? Part of me personally doesn't believe that they are correctly distributed, but benefit the doubt, let's say they are. Then you from the same tier could get 10 times a value difference, right? There is £1,500 worth of a discrepancy between the high end and the low end of the same tier. I think it's pretty clear that they are just not the same tier of rarity, right? And like I said, that's the problem with the price discrepancy in the tiers, but technically, the Pokerev packs don't even have to contain an equal amount of packs per tier. It doesn't state what first edition Wizard of the Coast packs there are, so as long as you have the chance to get at least one, it meets the criteria that's on here, which would mean you might think you're getting the chance to get a base set first edition pack worth £1,600, when in reality the highest that you could get is worth £250, and it's like a jungle booster or a fossil booster first edition. That is currently the issue with these packs, in my opinion. So how do we go around solving this issue? Well, there's lots of ways that you could do this. One addition that would be great to add a layer of transparency to these packs would be adding the minimum amount that you are getting per pack in the tiers. So like green tier, the minimum amount that you would get is like $4. Red tier, the minimum amount you would get is like $8. I'm just making up numbers here, but you can go up progressively. And then also say what the ceiling is of this tier, right? What is the most high value pack that you can get out of each tier? And you can pair with this something really simple that is just a list of every single pack that is available in these tiers. And hell, maybe even the amount of packs that were put into those. Because there's not an infinite amount of Pokerev packs available, they go out of stock, they sell out, right? So if they're done in batches, you should be able to very easily keep track of how many of a certain pack you've put into each of these, and then have the list available on Pokerev's website. And I think that would add a layer that's actually kind of sick, right? Like if you pull a really rare pack, not only is it a super cool thing to do, but then you could go and check out the website and see how many of those packs actually went into product. Like, oh my god, not only did I get like, oh my god, I got a Team Rocket pack, and only 5 of these were in Pokerev packs out of the whole entire Pokerev range. That's so sick. These are just 2 ideas that I've come up with that help eliminate the 2 major issues for me, which is the price range within the tiers, and then the room for manipulation of which packs actually appear in those tiers. Currently, there's no way to know the exact packs that are available, so there could be a list that shows that. And is there an even number of packs available? How many of these packs are available? The list could show that. I can see the issue of listing booster packs with a price next to them because it's all based on the market and that will change inevitably through time. But you can state that this is the price that it was in the market when the product was released. And to be clear, I don't think this is malicious at all. I don't think Pokerev is like using this to try and scam and it isn't doing the correct pack distributions. I'm saying that he could be based on the parameters that are currently given in these packs. But with a couple tweaks and changes, that could be fixed. And I'm sure someone has already left this comment saying something along the lines of,
"Oh wow, I thought you didn't care about money. Why are you talking about price so much if all you care about is the art of the cards?"
Well, the whole point of this video is to discuss the value because I'm reviewing a product that I bought. And also that product is gambling. So again, you want to see if you get a return on the money that you have spent. When I get annoyed about content creators or people focusing on money, it's because it's taking away from the enjoyment of the cards. And most of the people talk about money when it's completely irrelevant. They're not buying the product, right? If I pack a Pokemon card and I have no intention of selling it, it doesn't matter what the price is for a video, at least. Most of my gripes are with content, to be clear. But content-wise, if I am spending £65 on a mystery pack that is like a gamble of whether I can get any amount of value back from this that could be manipulated in some way, then I think it's fine to look into the value to see if you've been scammed or not. And the short answer to that question, I guess, is no. Pokerev packs are not a scam. But under this system, is there potential for there to be a scam? Yes. Like I said, I don't think this is an intentional thing, and I don't think Pokerev is actively trying to do this, but it is something that could be fixed for future packs. As far as I'm concerned, Pokerev is not a bad guy, despite what a lot of comments on my previous video thought. He's just someone that's released a product that I think has some issues with it that could be improved. It doesn't really go that deep, so chill out in the comments. And Pokerev, if you're watching this, first of all, I'm sorry that you've had to sit and listen to me talk for this long, but I'd be down to talk about like the future of Pokerev packs, tweaking things, what would work, what might not. And if you don't want to do that, obviously I completely get it. I've now made 2 videos going like, oh, this is not good. And there are bigger and more concerning things in the world than Pokerev mystery packs. But there is a way to make these better, and I think this product could be given a push in the right direction to make it be something really good. And to make it, as your goal is to be more transparent with these Pokerev packs, I think it would only help with that. So thanks for watching this video. I haven't edited it yet, but I'm sure this is a long one. I've had to re-record this part twice because my camera froze in the middle of the last attempt. Actually, I just check I'm still recording, thank God. So I hope it was worth it. Also, shout out to my friend Will, who edited part of this video and has been helping me. And shout out to you guys for watching, because now I make money from this and I can use that money to help pay my friend to help me. So really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Also, if you've watched this long, check to see if you're subscribed, because I've heard some people aren't subscribed and they thought they were. And I think subscribing is good for me. It helps recommend me or something. I don't know. All right. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.